What is going on, YouTube? Cy Guy 29 coming at you for episode 103 of Crafts and Cards. Another great beer here at the beautiful Cardboard Pub. And it's kind of a World Series edition, we'll call it. So, got my last beer we're going to share from Broken Bat Brewing in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. World Series. Here we go. Kind of excited. I think it could be a really good series. Two teams playing incredibly well. Late game heroics, good pitching, great bats. Love the two managers. I think it could be a whole lot of fun. So here's to a 7-game series, right? At least that's what I'm cheering for. So let's get right to our beer. Tonight's beer is Ricky. And Ricky is a wine barrel-aged Belgian Vit, and it comes in at 5.7 ABV, and you got to love the can. I was hoping the Guardians were going to kind of be in so I could kind of share with that theme with the Ricky Wild thing, Vaughn and all, but says Ricky Vaughn didn't become Wild thing until he wore his hollowed skull glasses, same as just a Vit outside doesn't become Ricky without a 5-month bath in Sautern's wine oak barrels. As complex and refreshing as we can make it, this brew is sure to make your heart sing. Love it. So they have another version of this that is called Just a Vit outside, and thought that was kind of clever, but had to have this can instead. That's a little loud back there. Very light, as you can see. Bad pour on my part. And as you can imagine, something that's barrel-aged in a wine barrel is going to kind of have that wine taste to it, and this is certainly there. That was awful pour. My God. Hopefully you like the tunes tonight. Just picked those up not that long ago. We might set that off to do what it needs to do there. The old flying monkey out of the way. We'll do the old light test with it. There you go. As you can see, very light. Like I said, this really has a grapey, fruity kind of finish. Very carbonated. Holy crap. Not a beer I would typically drink, but because of the subject matter, I didn't really have a choice. So it's a good beer, don't get me wrong, but it's just not something that I would seek out. Others might. If you're a wine drinker and with somebody in beer, that might be a way to go. So tonight's cards, I thought we'd do a little World Series special, so to speak. Now, these are not all Hall of Famers. We got a little bit of everything here. Some cards that I just love. Other cards that, just fit the bill because it's that time of year. So, I'm going to start off with this autographed. Now, I can't remember the year. This card, though. I can't remember. Archive. I can't remember the year. Because as a 23-year-old, he beat the Dodgers 1-0 in 1966. So thought I'd pull that one out. Here's something a little more recent. A Madison Bumgarner. My Giants there. I call them my Giants because that's kind of my National League team. Jersey there out of Allen and Ginter from a year that's way too small to read. Next, we have another game used. This is from Classic Careers, an upper deck of Dave Stewart. Little game used there. 89 World Series, the guy was phenomenal. Kind of bouncing back and forth. That's a little older. This one's a little more recent. This is a George Springer. game used. Had some great, obviously, World Series with the Yankees. Or Yankees, Jesus, Astros just beat the Yankees. Ugh, my bad. Sorry, Astros fans. Not sorry, Yankees fans. Here we have a beautiful Josh Beckett dual relic from his time with the Marlins. Guy was fantastic in a couple of World Series for them. A couple guys on the back. There's 2 cards in there. Oswalt Clemens had some pretty good success in the Fall Classic as well. Next, we have just some raw cards of oops, that one I don't want. These 2 I want. Here we have a World Series card. Odom out at the plate from Game 2. Oh, Game 5. These are out of Game 5 of the World Series there. 72 World Series. Go back to 74. There's Gene Tennis. Singles in the 9th. Love the old school Adidas he's wearing. And then we have the horribly miscut off-center world champion Oakland A's. Just kind of ran across those as I was looking for some other things. But we can't be, you got to have Mr. October, Reggie, with the Yanks. A guy that gets quite a bit of hobby love for a non-Hall of Famer, Mr. Joe Carter. Piece of history there, talking about his home run. Guy that crushed me in 80, Mr. Mike Schmidt, set a record for home runs by third baseman that year, and it continued on in to the postseason. Last year, Mr. Freddie Freeman. Here's a guy that was phenomenal in the postseason. None other than Mr. Randy Johnson. Now that that's done, I'm going to grab a drink here. Cheers. Fill that back up. There's a much better pour. All right. Oh, and this card I showed just a few weeks ago, but it's one of my absolute favorites. It's the Lonnie Smith card, hammering Brian Harper at the plate in the 91 World Series. Staying with the theme there, Mr. Dan Gladden, little TTM success there. With my Twins. Here's Mr. Raleigh Fingers with the Oakland Athletics. And last but certainly not least, none other than Bob Gibson, a guy that was so good in the postseason they literally had to change the configuration of the baseball diamond. Not just him, but he and Lolich, that whole low-scoring World Series in the 60s, Redbirds and Tigers. I saw an old on YouTube the other day. They just had popped up clips of a couple of those World Series games, and it was phenomenal. So they had to lower the mound for those of you that aren't sure what. And it wasn't just the postseason, but that's kind of how it all kind of snowballed. So stupid rules in baseball. Now, I'm not calling that one stupid because I think it was probably okay. Pitchers have adjusted quite well after watching the last couple of playoff games and seeing how hard these guys are throwing. Just unbelievable. But hope everyone's doing well. Let me know in the comments down below what cards you liked, what beer you've been drinking, who's going to win the World Series, those kind of things. But till next time, remember, like the sign says, collect what you love what you collect. Cheers.